Or was a move because you weren't getting enough support from the firm? From her fairy tale wedding to Prince Harry, to her tell-all interview with Oprah, Winfrey Meghan Markle has been the subject of intense media scrutiny since joining the royal family. But behind the headlines and public appearances, there are some less than flattering stories about the Duchess of Sussex that have surfaced over the years. Join us as we uncover 10 shady facts about Meghan Markle. Number 1. Manipulating the media. Meghan Markle's interview with Oprah Winfrey in March 2021 was one of the most talked about television moments in recent history. In the interview, Meghan and Prince Harry spoke about their struggles within the royal family, the reasons they stepped back from royal duties, and how the media treated them unfairly, while many people sympathized with Meghan's story. Others believed the interview was a carefully planned move to control her public image before the Oprah interview. Meghan's reputation had been a topic of debate. Some people admired her for breaking tradition and standing up for herself, while others saw her as someone who created drama and divided the royal family. The interview gave Meghan the chance to tell her side of the story in her own words, without the palace controlling the message. During the interview, Meghan described how difficult life in the royal family was for her. She talked about her mental health struggles, how she felt unsupported, and how certain royal family members allegedly made racist comments about her son's skin color. These claims were shocking and immediately changed the way many people viewed the royal family. However, some critics believed that the interview was not just about telling the truth, but about controlling how people saw Meghan. They argued that Meghan carefully chose what to share and what to leave out, making herself look like the victim while casting others as villains. Some also pointed out that there were inconsistencies in her statements, such as her claim that she and Harry secretly got married before their official royal wedding, something that was later proven to be false. Meghan has often spoken about her frustration with the media. In the interview, she claimed that the British press constantly attacked her, and that the royal family did not protect her from false stories. She compared her situation to Princess Diana's, saying that she felt trapped and misunderstood. While it is true that Meghan faced harsh criticism from the media, some people believe she used the Oprah interview to reshape her image after stepping back from royal life. Meghan and Harry signed deals with major media companies like Netflix and Spotify, leading some to question whether they truly wanted privacy or just wanted to control their own publicity. Critics argue that Meghan plays both sides, complaining about media attention while also using it to build her brand. They point out that, despite claiming she wanted a quieter life, Meghan and Harry have continued to give interviews, release documentaries, and speak publicly about their experiences. Supporters of Meghan believe that the Oprah interview was a brave act of truth, telling they see her as a woman who stood up for herself against a powerful institution. However, others believe that the interview was a calculated move to manipulate public opinion. Number 2, always feigning ignorance. One of the most surprising things Meghan Markle said during her engagement interview with Prince Harry was that she knew very little about the royal family. Before meeting him, she claimed she didn't grow up following royal news, and that her only concern when meeting Harry was whether he was a kind person. However, many people have questioned this statement, saying that there is evidence to suggest she had a strong interest in the royals, long before she met Harry during their 2017 engagement interview. Meghan told the world that she never really followed the royal family. She said she didn't know much about them and had never researched Prince Harry before meeting him. Instead, she claimed she only asked one question when her friend set up the blind date: "Is he nice, this?" Made her seem humble, as if she was just an ordinary person who happened to fall in love with a prince. At first, this statement seemed innocent, but as time went on, people began to question whether it was true. Many found it hard to believe that someone as well-traveled and well-educated as Meghan would not know about one of the most famous families in the world. After all, Prince Harry's life had been covered in the media for years. His mother, Princess Diana, was one of the most photographed women in history. How could Meghan have been unaware of this? Not long after Meghan's interview, people who knew her started coming forward with a different story. Former friends and colleagues claimed that Meghan had always been interested in the royal family. Some even said she had dreamed of becoming a princess one day. One major piece of evidence was that Meghan owned books about Princess Diana. A childhood friend claimed that Meghan had a biography of Diana on her bookshelf and had studied her life closely. This was surprising because in her interview, Meghan made it seem like she had no prior interest in Diana or the royal family. Another piece of evidence came from Meghan's old blog, The Tig. In a post from 2014, Meghan wrote about how fascinated people were with the idea of royalty mentioning Kate Middleton's wedding. This directly contradicted her claim that she had never thought much about the royals before meeting Harry. Additionally, Meghan's former best friend, Nanaki Priti, said that Meghan had always been ambitious and had talked about wanting to be famous. She suggested that Meghan's claim of ignorance was part of an act to make her love story with Harry seem more magical and unexpected. Some people believe Meghan's words were harmless and that she simply wanted to focus on her relationship rather than appear as a royal fan. Others think she deliberately downplayed her knowledge to make herself seem more relatable and genuine. Number 3, she is manipulative. Meghan Markle has often been compared to Princess Diana, and many believe she has tried to create this connection on purpose. Some people think she used certain tactics to win Prince Harry's heart by reminding him of his late mother. Two major points that stand out are her choice of perfume and her constant references to Diana. One of the most talked about claims is that Meghan wore Princess Diana's favorite perfume on her first date with Prince Harry. The perfume Kelkafleur was reportedly a scent Diana loved and often wore. Meghan choosing to wear it on her first meeting with Harry is seen by some as a calculated move. Many believe that smell is a powerful memory trigger. If Meghan knew this was Diana's perfume, wearing it could have been a way to create a subconscious emotional bond with Harry. The idea is that when Harry smelled the perfume, it might have reminded him of his mother and made him feel an instant connection with Meghan. Some people see this as romantic, while others believe it was a manipulative tactic. They argue that Meghan wanted to make Harry feel as if she was somehow connected to Diana, making her more special in his eyes. Meghan has spoken about Princess Diana in many interviews. While it's natural for someone joining the royal family to talk about Diana, some believe Meghan's references go beyond admiration and into obsession even before meeting Harry. Meghan reportedly followed Diana's life closely. In an old interview, she mentioned watching Diana's funeral as a child and feeling emotional about it. Some critics believe that Meghan studied Diana's life and used that knowledge to shape her own public image. When Meghan and Harry got engaged, she was often compared to Diana in the media, instead of shying away from these comparisons. Meghan seemed to embrace them. She dressed in outfits similar to Diana's, gave speeches about kindness and charity, and even spoke about feeling trapped within the royal family, just as Diana once did during her interview with Oprah. Meghan said she struggled with the pressures of royal life, and even had thoughts of self-harm. This was very similar to things Diana had spoken about in the past. While many sympathized with Meghan, others believed she was deliberately drawing parallels to Diana to gain public support. Critics argue that Meghan has carefully crafted her image to remind people of Diana. They believe she wants to be seen as a victim, just like Diana was to gain sympathy and admiration. On the other hand, her supporters say she simply respects Diana's legacy and wants to honor her memory. Number 4, she's a social climber. Meghan Markle's rise to fame has been scrutinized by both supporters and critics, with some arguing that her relationships played a crucial role in her career advancement before becoming a global figure through her marriage to Prince Harry. Meghan was an actress struggling to find major roles in Hollywood. One of the most notable relationships in her past was her marriage to Trevor Engelson, a Hollywood producer. Meghan met Trevor Engelson in the early 2000s, when she was still an aspiring actress. At the time, she was taking on small roles in television and film, trying to break into the competitive industry. Engelson, who had established himself as a producer, had valuable connections that could potentially open doors for Meghan. Their relationship was serious, and after dating for several years, they got married. In 2011, Engelson played a key role in supporting Meghan's career during their relationship. She landed minor acting gigs in popular TV shows, such as CSI New York Fringe and 90210. However, her most widely recognized early appearances were as a briefcase model on Deal or No Deal, a reality game show that featured young women holding numbered suitcases. While this was not a major acting role, it put Meghan in front of cameras and helped her gain visibility. Although Meghan had been acting for years, it wasn't until she landed the role of Rachel Zane in Suits that she truly found success. Suits, a legal drama that premiered in 2011, gave Meghan a steady role and an opportunity to establish herself as a lead actress. Interestingly, it was around this time that her marriage to Engelson began to fall apart. Critics argue that Meghan's career trajectory suggests a pattern of moving on from relationships once they no longer serve a purpose. While Engelson had been instrumental in helping her gain initial roles, by the time Suits took off, Meghan was financially independent and no longer needed the industry connections he provided. This is why some view her relationship with Engelson as a strategic move, rather than a love story. The manner in which Meghan ended her marriage has been a subject of speculation. Reports suggest that after she secured her role in Suits, she began spending more time in Toronto, where the show was filmed. While Engelson remained in Los Angeles, their long-distance relationship reportedly became strained, and rather than working through the challenges, Meghan allegedly ended things abruptly. According to multiple sources, Meghan did not have a face-to-face conversation with Engelson when she decided to end the marriage. Instead, she reportedly mailed her wedding rings back to him via FedEx. This impersonal approach to ending their relationship has fueled speculation that Meghan was simply moving on to the next phase of her career without looking back. Number 5. Meghan is a bully. One of the most serious controversies surrounding Meghan. Markle is the claim that she bullied her staff while living at the palace. Several former employees have spoken out about how Meghan's treatment made them feel, with some even saying they were left shaking with fear. These allegations have raised questions about Meghan's personality and whether she truly cares for the people who work under her in 2021. Just before Meghan and Prince Harry's interview with Oprah, a report surfaced claiming that Meghan had bullied her staff, according to sources inside the palace. Several employees had quit their jobs because of how Meghan treated them. Some staff members described the work environment as toxic and said they felt stressed and anxious. Around her, one former employee claimed that Meghan would often speak to her staff in a harsh and demanding tone. Another staff member said that Meghan had made them cry on multiple occasions. Some even reported that Meghan's treatment left them feeling humiliated and worthless. a senior palace aide reportedly filed a formal complaint about Meghan's behavior, saying that she had driven 2 personal assistants out of their jobs. The complaint also suggested that Meghan treated other employees unfairly, making impossible demands, and criticizing their work in a way that felt cruel rather than constructive. Supporters of Meghan argued that these claims were exaggerated and that she was simply a strong woman who expected high standards. They believed the allegations were part of an effort to damage Meghan's reputation after she and Harry left the royal family. However, others saw the reports as a sign that Meghan was not as kind and caring as she appeared in public to make Meghan feel welcome. The royal family reportedly made special accommodations for her, since Meghan was new to royal life. Palace staff were instructed to guide her through everything she needed to know. The Queen even allowed her to join royal events early on and personally helped her adjust to the family's traditions. However, some reports claim that Meghan rejected many of these efforts. Instead of following the advice and guidance given to her, she was said to have insisted on doing things her own way. Some saw this as a sign that Meghan wanted more control rather than comfort. For example, when Meghan and Harry were given a luxurious home at Kensington Palace, reports suggested that Meghan was not satisfied. She reportedly demanded changes that frustrated staff, leading to tensions within the palace. Some insiders believed Meghan wanted to reshape the royal system to fit her own lifestyle. Rather than adapting to it, Meghan has strongly denied all bullying claims, calling them false and hurtful. Her lawyers even suggested that the palace was using the allegations to distract from Meghan's explosive interview with Oprah No. 6. Her love life before she met Harry. Meghan Markle's love life has always been a topic of public interest, especially because of how quickly she moved from one relationship to another before she met Prince Harry. She was in a serious relationship with Canadian chef Corey Vitello. Many people believe that Meghan left Corey as soon as she got the opportunity to date someone more famous. Meghan and Corey started dating in 2014, around the time she was working on the TV show Suits. Corey was a well-known chef in Canada and owned a successful restaurant in Toronto. Their relationship seemed serious, and many believed they were headed for marriage. Meghan often shared pictures of their happy moments on social media, and they appeared to be in love. Their relationship lasted for about 2 years, from 2014 to 2016. During this time, Meghan was building her brand, attending high-profile events, and trying to expand her career beyond Suits. Corey supported her and introduced her to influential people in Toronto. Meghan even wrote about him and his restaurant on her now-deleted lifestyle blog. The Tig in 2016. Meghan's life took a sudden turn while still in a relationship with Corey. She was introduced to Prince Harry. The meeting was reportedly arranged by a mutual friend fashion designer, Misha Nonu Meghan, and Harry had a blind date in London, and things moved quickly between them. Soon after meeting Prince Harry, Meghan ended her relationship with Corey. The breakup happened so fast that it raised questions. Some people believed that Meghan had already decided to leave Corey before she met Harry, but others thought she had been looking for a better opportunity and acted when the right moment came. The way Meghan ended things with Corey made many people suspicious sources. Close to Corey have hinted that the breakup did not feel natural. They believe Meghan had started pulling away even before she officially ended the relationship. Just weeks after breaking up with Corey, Meghan was seen with Prince Harry. The quick transition from Corey to Harry LED, to speculation that Meghan had planned everything. Some people believe she saw an opportunity to enter the royal family and took it immediately. Corey has never spoken badly about Meghan in public, but those close to him have suggested that he was hurt by how things ended. Meghan has always said that her relationship with Harry was a true love story. However, critics argue that the timing of her breakup with Corey and the start of her romance with Harry is too perfect to be a coincidence. Number 7, always playing the victim. One of the biggest criticisms Meghan Markle has faced is the claim that she tries to present herself as a victim. Some believe that she used this narrative to justify her decision to step back from royal duties and move to America. While Meghan has spoken about the struggles she faced within the royal family, critics argue that she exaggerated her difficulties to gain public sympathy. Meghan has often described her time as a royal as difficult and emotionally painful. In her 2021 interview with Oprah, she revealed that she struggled with her mental health, felt unsupported by the royal family, and even had thoughts of self-harm. She also claimed that members of the royal family made racist remarks about her son's skin color. Before he was born, these revelations shocked many people and led to widespread support for Meghan. However, some sources suggest that Meghan carefully shaped this narrative to gain sympathy. They argue that while she may have faced challenges, she was not as helpless as she made it seem. Critics point out that Meghan had many privileges as a royal. She lived in a palace, had access to wealth, and was welcomed into high society. Despite this, she often portrayed herself as an outsider, who was mistreated. Former palace staff have also suggested that Meghan's claims were exaggerated. Some have stated that efforts were made to help her adjust to royal life, but she rejected them. Instead, they believed she wanted to appear as if she was struggling alone, which helped justify her and Harry's decision to leave the royal family in the United States. People are often drawn to stories of celebrities overcoming hardships. Many believe that Meghan understood this and used it to her advantage. By presenting herself as a victim, she was able to win over American audiences, who saw her as someone who had been unfairly treated, unlike in the UK, where Meghan and Harry received mixed reactions. Many Americans embraced their story. Meghan became a symbol of resilience, especially among those who saw her as a modern woman, standing up against an outdated institution. Her interview with Oprah was widely watched in the US, and many people expressed support for her on social media. However, some critics believe this victim narrative was carefully crafted. They argue that Meghan and Harry's decision to step away from royal life was not just about escaping mistreatment, but also about gaining freedom to pursue lucrative opportunities. After leaving the royal family, the couple signed multi-million-dollar deals with Netflix, Spotify, and other media companies, raising questions about whether they truly wanted privacy or simply a different kind of fame. Number 8, cutting ties with friends, as Meghan Markle rose to fame. Several people from her past spoke out about how she changed. After gaining success, some former friends claim that Meghan carefully chose her relationships, making sure to stay close to people who could help her career, while cutting off those who no longer served a purpose. They described her as someone who was friendly and charming at first, but quick to move on once she got what she wanted. People who knew Meghan before she became a royal say she was very strategic about the friendships she made. They claim she always had big dreams and was willing to do whatever it took to achieve them. Some former friends said she carefully built relationships with people who could open doors for her in Hollywood, the fashion industry, and even high society, for example. Meghan had a close friendship with Canadian stylist Jessica Mulroney, who was well connected in the fashion world. Many believe this relationship helped Meghan become more popular in elite circles. However, after Meghan became a duchess, her friendship with Jessica seemed to fade. Some people speculated that Meghan no longer needed Jessica's influence and had moved on. Another example is how Meghan cut ties with her childhood best friend Nanaki Priti. The two had been close since they were young. But when Meghan became famous, their friendship ended. Nanaki later said she was shocked by how Meghan had changed, and described her as someone who could turn on and off her charm, depending on what she needed. British TV personality Lizzie Cundy also shared her experience with Meghan. According to Lizzie, she met Meghan in 2013 at a charity event in London. At the time, Meghan was still an actress on Suits and was looking to make more connections in the UK. Lizzie claimed that Meghan was eager to meet influential people, especially wealthy and well-known men. Lizzie said Meghan specifically asked her if she could help her find a famous British man to date. At that time, Meghan was still with Canadian chef Corey Vitello. But according to Lizzie, she was already looking for a way into British high society. Lizzie also said that after Meghan started dating Prince Harry, she completely cut her off. She tried to reach out to Meghan, but Meghan never responded to her messages. Lizzie believed that Meghan had used her to gain connections and then discarded her once she had achieved her goal. Many people who once knew Meghan have said similar things, that she builds relationships for strategic reasons and then moves on when they no longer serve her. Some see this as ambition, while others see it as manipulation. No matter the truth, Meghan's rise to fame and her decision to leave behind certain friends have led many to question whether her relationships were ever genuine. Number 9. Revelations from court case. One of the biggest controversies surrounding Meghan Markle involved a court case that revealed surprising details about her relationship with the media. Meghan had long claimed that she wanted privacy and was unfairly treated by the press. However, court documents later showed that she had shared information with authors and had not been entirely truthful in her statements. This raised questions about her credibility and whether she was truly committed to privacy. In 2020, a biography titled Finding Freedom was released. The book, written by Omid Scobie and Carolyn Durand, told the story of Meghan and Prince Harry's struggles within the royal family and their decision to step away from royal life. The book painted Meghan in a positive light and portrayed her as a victim of unfair treatment by both the palace and the British press. At first, Meghan denied having any involvement in the book. She and Harry insisted that they did not contribute to it in any way. However, during a court case in 2021, it was revealed that Meghan had authorized her former press secretary, Jason Konoff, to share information with the book's authors. Emails and messages showed that Meghan had personally approved certain details to be shared, contradicting her earlier claims that she had no connection to the book. This revelation led many to question Meghan's honesty. If she had wanted privacy, why was she secretly working with authors to shape her story? Critics argued that Meghan wanted to control the narrative and present herself in a way that suited her, even while claiming to be a private person. The court case also highlighted other inconsistencies in Meghan's statements. One of the most significant issues was related to a private letter she had written to her father, Thomas Markle, in 2018. Meghan wrote a personal letter to her father, asking him to stop talking to the press and telling him that he had hurt her. Parts of this letter were later published by a British newspaper. The Mail on Sunday, Meghan sued the newspaper for publishing the letter without her permission, arguing that it was a private message, meant only for her father. However, court documents later revealed that Meghan had expected the letter to become public emails, showed that she had even considered how the letter would look if it was leaked. This was very different from the way she had originally described the situation, leading some to believe she had misled the public. These revelations damaged Meghan's credibility. People who once supported her began to question whether she had been truthful in her interviews and public statements while she won her case against the Mail on Sunday, number 10. What everyone thinks Meghan Markle is one of the most talked about public figures in the world. Some people see her as a victim who stood up for herself, while others believe she is manipulative and carefully controls her image over the years. Many stories have come out about her, some in her favor and others against her. These stories have shaped how people view her, making her one of the most controversial figures in modern celebrity culture. Meghan has shared her struggles many times, saying she faced unfair treatment from the media and the royal family. She has talked about racism, mental health struggles, and the pressure of being a royal. Because of this, some people admire her and believe she was treated badly. They see her as a strong woman who refused to stay silent and instead fought for her happiness and freedom. However, others believe Meghan carefully controls how people see her. They argue that she often plays the victim while also making choices that benefit her. For example, she spoke about wanting privacy, but later signed big deals with Netflix and Spotify to share her story. Some people also point out inconsistencies in her statements, making them doubt her honesty. The truth about Meghan is likely somewhere in the middle. She may have faced real struggles, but at the same time, she may have made certain choices to protect or improve her public image. Whether people see her as a hero or a manipulator depends on their personal views and which parts of her story they believe Meghan's story is far from over. She and Prince Harry continue to be in the spotlight, and public opinion about them keeps changing. Some people support them, no matter what, while others believe they are simply trying to stay relevant. In the end, Meghan will always be a controversial figure. Some see her as a woman who fought for her own happiness, while others see her as someone who carefully plays the victim to maintain her fame, no matter which side people take. One thing is clear. Meghan Markle's story will continue to be discussed for years to come. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.